So, this is it. We have arrived to the second last chapter of Bleach. Honestly, honestly, I did not expect that this would be how things would go, and I'm 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 more than anything sad. I really am sad. I am really sad for the series. I'm really sad for Kubo, the way he was fucked over, and he had to rush things within just 5 chapters. A series which has been running for almost 15 years, an arc which started at a rather very high note, where he created these hyped up events, and then in fact added so many questions about characters that unfortunately were left unsolved. Hell, in fact, the biggest question was created in the previous chapter itself. I mean, I don't know what to say, because, here's the thing, okay? Let me just talk about this chapter in particular because I am going to share my thoughts about Bleach and the overall review, rather not the series review, of course, but because it would take me like 45 minutes or so of a video, and I don't think you guys would like to see me blabbering about Bleach for 45 minutes. But I would talk about I would share my thoughts more openly um, once the final chapter comes out, because then I would see through the series entirely. I would see through it, and I would be able to convey my thoughts much more better, because the way this chapter is the way this chapter goes, I really am disappointed and sad over the things that happened. Of course, there are heartfelt moments. Of course, I am happy. I'm not saying that I'm not happy in what happened in this chapter, but I would have been much more satisfied and much more happy if the same events would have happened in a rather progressive manner. If the same thing, what happened in this chapter, the same things, if these things would have happened in a steady, progressive way, where Kubo would have got in enough time so that he would have been able to conclude this series properly, the same chapter would have made a good amount of sense. I would have said that, okay, this chapter is pretty damn good, but the way this chapter goes right after the previous one, it just creates more questions than solving any of them. and and I think I am no not think, but I would just hope that at least a few of those questions of mine would be answered in the next chapter, because this chapter is, I guess, 20 pages. That's it. It only is of 20 pages, and within these 20 pages, not a lot, or rather should I say, quite frankly, little to nothing is explained about what happened right after when Ichigo cut through Yuha. Okay, now let me first focus on the things that I actually liked. Okay, I liked the fact that Rukia is a captain now. I honestly liked it. I would have also liked it if Renji would have got a chance of becoming a captain, because now he is strong enough of being a captain. And I'm not joking about this. Back when Kensei was fighting Maske Masculine, it wasn't Kensei who beat the shit out of Maske Masculine, it was Renji who did it. So I would assume that Renji is as strong, if not more, as strong as Kensei. And Kensei is a captain now, which I am kind of surprised, because I thought that he still would be kind of the zombie Kensei, but he is fine. So I'm happy for him. Okay, he is fine. I'm happy for him, But anyway, so Rukia is the captain of the the thir- the 13th squad, and of course I am happy for her, but it would have made more sense for her character if she would have gotten more development. And when I say development, I don't mean that she is an underdeveloped character. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is that it would have been much more better if, after defeating Asnot, when all of them went up to fight Yuha, she would have got someone to fight with, so that we could have seen more of her skills and more of her bankai. Uh, I'm saying the development in that way. Okay. It would have been much more better, because this chapter is building up. The focus of this chapter is to build up this ceremony of promotion of Rukia. And like I said, I was expecting this to happen at the end of Bleach. She would have been promoted as a captain. Not just me, of course, not just me. A lot of readers of Bleach, a lot of fans of Bleach expected that Rukia would be a captain by the end of it. It's just that it would have been much more great if she would have promoted a captain with more of a weight to that power that she has. We have just seen a glimpse of what she could do. I would have loved to see what else she could have done. Back then, when she used her power, she used it for the first time. Her bankai, by the way. And it was devastating. It literally was like a huge ass attack. And it was awesome. It looked awesome. I would have loved to see more of it. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So, I'm happy for Rukia. I'm happy for her. I think I like her character. That's the reason why I'm happy for her, by the way. Okay. It's good to know what happened to Ukitake. I mean, it's sad that he died, but back in my mind, I did had a thought of what happened to Ukitake. Because once the Mimihage was removed from his body, I believe he was alive for a few seconds, but it was never the topic of him being dead or alive was never confirmed back in when they were fighting. I am sad for the fact that we couldn't see a lot of Ukitake's abilities. We only saw a few of his abilities. Like, we just saw the tip of the iceberg of his abilities. I mean, yeah, he can absorb energy and then manipulate it through the talisman that his sword has, and then redirect it to his enemies by either increasing or decreasing the flow of it or the power of it. That is a cool ability. But then that's it. That's what we got from Ukitake. Back when he was taken out, like that, when they were fighting in the fake Karakura town, I was disappointed because I thought that a guy who is supposed to be like one of the most strongest captains was taken out like that. And then even in this arc we couldn't see him fight. He was fighting a Quincy, but that fight was not shown at all. At all. It's as though if if Kubo really hated this character. That his character, it's like Kubo had an idea, or it's if or it would be as if Kubo had a great idea for, like, okay, look, listen, I have this power for Ukitake. Okay, this is this wise guy who is quite powerful and is quite respected, and I have this idea for his powers and his Bankai, but I just can't find a way to put him in a situation to use those. I think that is the only logical thing that I could think of what Kubo would have went through in designing and putting Ukitake in situations, you know. It's good to see that Ikaku is promoted to the vice captain level, because now he actually could be more close to Zaraki and, follow his great captain. Now, it's also good to see, okay? It's also good to see that Mayuri has actually, I guess, rebuilt Nemu. And this Nemu is this really small girl, like probably 8 or maybe 10-year-old girl. And this Nemu is very different from the Nemu that we knew, okay? This one is actually quite alive. I mean, okay, when I say alive, I'm not saying that Nemu was dead. It's just that Nemu was this very stoic character who had this one expression on her face. But this Nemu, of course, she's more like a child. She's more human. I guess that is an improvement in his technology that he used. So I'm rather good to see that, and also I'm rather good. I also felt good that Mayuri actually respects Nemu. He treats her more like a person than just a thing that he used to treat the previous Nemu like. It's good to know that. And of course, it's good to know that whoever was shot by Chicken Lily, well, it turns out that they are alive. So yeah, good for them. It's good that Shuhei is alive. Unfortunately, we couldn't see his Bankai, which was kind of hyped. But hell, even the chapter, even the characters make fun of Shuhei, quite literally. Like even in this chapter, it's shown that Rangiku and Kensei and even fucking Hitsugaya are making fun of Shuhei. Okay, it's actually good to see that Hitsugaya is kind of chilled out right now. Uh, he 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 seems to be more of a person who knows how to, you know, be around with people and not be a complete, um, you could say, so thumb. You know, it's good to see that at least. Apparently, he has reverted back to his, original child form. I mean, 10 years and he still hasn't, grown even a bit. I'm happy that Rangiku is okay. I mean, I actually was kind of worried about her, but I know I'm honestly happy that Rangiku is okay. I mean, she look she's hot, and I kind of really liked her from the beginning. She had this bubbly attitude, and I I liked her. Okay, and it's good to see that she's a-okay. She has a new hairstyle. Unfortunately, it was okay, by the way, it was rather speculated way back when that Rangiku might also have a bankai, which it was never really indicated, but still it was still some speculations. And in the end, of course, it is indicated that some of Yuha's or some type of Ryatsu is seeping or seeping out, and it might be of Yuha's. It's not just the final page that shows it, but when Mayuri is working and they show his new look, they by the way, his new look is quite ridiculous, you know and they show this small shadow is coming out of the ground. uh, uh, that kind of foreshadowed what the end was going to be. So these were the few things that I actually liked it. And like I said, I would have loved this chapter. I would have absolutely loved this chapter if things would have went right. Unfortunately, it did not happen. And I am rather angry, but I can't be angry because what can anyone do at this point? I'm just sad. I'm sad and I'm angry and I'm disappointed for the fact that Yuha was taken out just like that. It was never it was never even mentioned or even explained how he was taken out or what happened after Yuha was taken out. I mean, seriously, just like that? Are you shitting me right now? This guy who could fucking see the future. who could change the fucking future. He could do all that shit. Was not able to dodge an arrow. He was not able to dodge an arrow. Which he could have done that because remember, he was not under the influence of Kyoka Suigetsu. When he got out of his shadows, revealing himself, and was about to kill Ichigo, he was not under Kyoka Suigetsu's influence. Okay? Aizen was consumed, or should I say, engulfed with these shadows. And by the way, I have something to say about Aizen as well, but said that it didn't seem as though Yuha would have missed that. He should have been able to see everything. How can you say that he missed it? I honestly was expecting, I was expecting to see more to happen in this chapter. I know it would have been dragged on a bit, but this is a shonen. I was ready for the fact that this fight will be dragged on. And to be honest with you, this fight hasn't been much. I'm very disappointed with the fact that there wasn't much in this fight to begin with. You see, you are beating the ever living shit out of Ichigo. He breaks his Bankai. He leaves. He takes Ichigo's powers, which, by the way, I don't know how the fuck why the fuck did he need Ichigo's powers? He had no use for them. They were not of any use. Anyways, he just took Ichigo's power. He goes in this portal to Soul Society. Tsukushima comes out of nowhere, gets Ichigo's shit back together. He and Renji go to the Soul Society where Aizen and Yuha are fighting. Ichigo takes advantage of the fact that Aizen is, of course, putting Yuha under Kyoka Suigetsu's influence, cuts up Yuha, and then Yuha comes back, Uryu shoots the arrow, and then that's it. Yuha is dead. Of course, Ichigo cuts him and Yuha is dead. That wasn't much of a fight for a final battle of a series which has been around for 15 fucking years. No. And like I said, I would have shown more of my anger or frustration, but I can't. I honestly can't, because I do feel sad for Kubo as well, because this man was being fucked. This man was fucked, and I really feel bad for him. He would have planned a grand ending. He would have planned this epic battle between Yuha and Aizen, and I think he had. I think he had. There was a reason why he brought back Aizen from the Mugen. For a reason he did it, but he was never able to use Aizen the proper way. And then again, of course, what the fuck happened to Aizen? We all know that Aizen is immortal. He should have not died of that attack. He didn't die when Yuha thrusted his arm through him. He did not die for that. In fact, we see his chest completely healed. I'm pretty sure he would have also healed his own arm. I'm pretty sure about that. So I'm not. It is absolutely ridiculous to think that Aizen is dead. Which it would be ridiculous if in the next chapter it is revealed that Aizen is dead. I just don't want to think that way. Okay? But then in this chapter we get a flash forward We are 10 years after the events of what happened in previous chapter. No Ichigo, nothing about what happened right after he cut down Yuha. No information about Aizen. No information about what happened to the Soul King. No information about how the fuck did these captains recover. Nothing at all. I don't know what to say. I mean, I seriously am sad. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry that this review is being dragged on for this long, but I'm trying to cheer myself up. But I can't do that. I cannot do that because this is not the way this should have ended. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not energetic, or I'm not putting any efforts in this review, but I'm sorry. Anyways, I am expecting that maybe Aizen. Fuck Aizen. I don't think that Aizen is going to come in the next chapter, but maybe Ichigo will show up in the next chapter. Oh yeah, fuck. Okay, look. Okay. Before I get to that, okay, listen. Before I get to that, if you tell me, Kubo, if you're gonna say that for the past 10 years Ichigo was in the human world, I would call that a bullshit, okay? Because when Ichigo got his powers back and he got done with the training, no, he went in the Soul Palace, okay? Shunsui goes in the human world, gives these passes to Ichigo's friends and family so that they could come and meet Ichigo if they want. Because Ichigo's Ryatsu would be so strong that no one in the human world could handle it. Okay? So don't tell me that Ichigo is in the human world. I could assume that. Okay, I'm assuming that Aizen took the place of the Soul King, and Ichigo became the captain of the Zero Squad. That is what I'm expecting. Okay, nothing else. This is what I'm expecting to see in the next chapter. I hope that this happens. That is the only optimistic thing that I could think of right now, besides the whole Rukia being the captain thing. Okay. Anyway, so what do you guys think about this chapter? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry that I am in I'm not in the right mood. It's just that anyways, fuck it. Till next time.